Like a madman for 7 years. And then he heard a voice from heaven. He lifted up his eyes and praised God. And it was then that his life changed. He got his mind right. He got his honor back. And the Bible says he had more honor than what he started with. And yes, it took his own fire to walk through. And yes, he had to experience it because of his own problems, because of what he brought on himself. But it shows how merciful God is, that while we were yet sinners, Christ died even for the ungodly. He died for a madman, for a man that would rather walk in the wilderness when he was once a noble man. He was once a king, a man that would rather put himself higher than who he acknowledged as the holy God. He saw what God did. He saw the men come out of the furnace, and still, he decided, I'm going to stay who I am. I hear that, if I keep doing this, that, I might go a little crazy and I might lose a little something, but I'm okay. I'll be all right. No, that's not how it played out. He went through his own fire, but yet came back to God. 7 years. Came back to God and acknowledged God. And now not just acknowledged God, but accepted God. Became one of his beloved. But had Daniel never interpreted the dream, how would he know? But had Daniel never said to him what was going to happen and who God was, how would he know? Had he never acknowledged, had King Nebuchadnezzar never acknowledged God as the holy God, how would he know? Because Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego decided that they were going to continue to acknowledge God as God. And had they never done that, then the king would have never had to throw them into the fire, which means he never would have saw Jesus walking around in the fire with them, which means they never would have been saved out of the fire, which means he never would have acknowledged God as God. So they had to go through the fire so that King Nebuchadnezzar could get saved. They had to walk through that. But they didn't even feel the burn because they did it in the name of the Lord. Glory in your tribulation. Rejoice in trouble. Be happy, exceedingly happy, and filled with joy. If you suffer for Christ, you suffer for a good thing. You're not just suffering for nothing. You're suffering because you're attached to the one true living God. The only God that can save you from this world of sin and shame. He's the only God that can allow you to walk through a fire 7 times hotter than it normally is. He's the only God that can shut the mouths of the lions and have you laying on them like a nice fur blanket. He's the only God that can allow a boy to slay a giant when every other man in the army was afraid. He's the only God that can save you how he can, that can pull you out of a flood, that can walk you through the wilderness, that can walk you through the middle of a desert and you won't die, that can have you wander around a desert for 400 years and still take care of you day after day after day. Be a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, because the Bible says that our God is a consuming fire. And if he is the fire, then surely I can walk through that fire and never be burned. Remember the bush where Moses came and he saw the burning bush. He consumed the bush with fire and the bush never burned. Allow the Holy Spirit to consume you that way and you'll never burn. But what you will be is refined. Hotter than you've ever been. But yet when someone touches you, they may feel the effect of the Holy Spirit, but they themselves will feel the change that takes place on the inside of them. You walking through your fire is not for you. Go through your fire that somebody else might be saved. The Bible says that all of heaven rejoices over one soul. One soul that was saved. It took 3 men to save one soul. 3 men in a fire to save one soul. One soul. But he was a big, mighty, rebellious soul. That that you come in contact with are going through, you may not know everything that your own family is going through, because there are some things that you just can't speak out loud. But your life, let your life be a living testimony of the saving power of God, of the healing power of God. They may see you go through a lot, but if you go through with grace, and if you go through with that joy, that unspeakable joy, how the Bible says God would give you peace that passes all understanding. That means when I see you go through this, and I wonder, why are you still smiling when there's nothing to smile about? How could you still be laughing when you've prayed over and over again and God still hasn't answered your prayer? Because you know that even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I don't have to fear evil, because God is with me, because he makes me to lie down in green pastures, because he leads me beside still waters, because he restores my soul. So even when I feel like I'm down and I'm dry and I'm empty and there's nothing more that I can give, the Bible says he restores my soul. And he leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. For his name's sake. And that's why I can glory in my troubles and in my tribulation, because it's for his name's sake. And he holds his name higher than any other name. So if I go through for his name's sake, then I know that I surely will be saved. Now if I allow myself to walk through the fire on my own, I might get a little burned. I might get a little hurt. I might feel a little down and melted. And I might start to feel like I'm going down and there's nothing more for me. But once you remember that you are pure gold, don't allow yourself to think of yourself on the level of a mere candle. Don't allow yourself to think of yourself on the level of a little wick that holds onto the fire, and the fire burns and melts it down until there's nothing left. Think of yourself as that element that cannot be burned.
My God.
Gold can't even be dissolved by any other chemical. It can't be destroyed by any other chemical. It says that you can mix chemicals together and dissolve it, but even then, it's still gold, just dispersed more widely. So gold cannot be destroyed. You wonder why they compare you to gold? Because you cannot be destroyed. You're hard pressed on every side, but you cannot be destroyed. You're perplexed. You may be in trouble, but you cannot be destroyed. Broke down and in despair, but you cannot be destroyed. Don't allow yourself to be destroyed. I am not destroyed.
I shall not be moved. Thank you, Jesus.
I may be shaken. I may be a little bit broken on this side and a little cracked on that side, but I am not destroyed. I am not destroyed. Even if they dissolve me, that just forces me to spread out until Jesus brings me back together. Even if I dissolve a little bit, even if you throw a little something at me, and I do start to dissolve and I start to disintegrate, I am not destroyed. No matter what it looks like, I may be spread out for a little while, and you on the outside may be looking at me, and you see that I'm going through all of this, and you see that it's hard for me to handle this, and you see that I'm feeling this kind of way, and you see that, oh, she don't really got it together. Oh, today she looked a little off, but she sounded a little off. And to you, I might look like I've been destroyed, or I look like I might have been dissolved and there's nothing left for me. But don't worry about it. I'm just a little widely spread. That's all that it is. I'm just spread a little more wide, but I'm still gold. Don't get it twisted. I am still gold. I have not been destroyed. I'm just a little more flat than I used to be. I'm just a little more liquidy than I used to be. But once I get that heat on me, once I get that fire on me, once I get that good God Almighty on me, then I will come back together and you'll see that I'm smooth. I'm not just dispersed. I'm not just dissolved, but I'm all put together and I'm refined and I shine. When you see me, don't look at me and see a mess. Look at me me and see that I'm cracked up and I'm destroyed and I'm down and I'm distraught.
Oh, but I'm wrecked.
Don't look at me and see that.
Yeah.
It is up to us as the people of God to pull the gold out of each other.
Each other.
It is up to us as the people of God
That's right.
to remind each other of our worth. Because if all you see yourself as is just a candle, and I'm simply holding on to the fire, a candle burns out. If you allow it to just burn and burn, eventually it will burn out. The wax may spread out, but the wick has burned. And it's no more good.
No good.
There's nothing more that you can do with the wax unless you melt it down again
That's right.
and build it back up again.
Harden it up again.
Go ahead. Say
But
that.
doesn't that sound like the gold? Even when you burn the gold down and it turns into liquid form,
Uh-huh.
it's still precious.
Yes.
It's still worth something.
Still work.
As a matter of fact,
It's more.
I'm worth more when I'm melted down.
My God.
Wax has to be brought back up again in order to be worth something. And then it gets melted right back down.
That's what it does.
Gold
Go.
is melted down and gets its worth right there.
Right there.
Right in the thick of things.
My G.
That's where the gold gets its worth. Not when you first pull it out the ground. That's good to find, but you can't do anything with that. You can't go trade that for bread. You can't go take that to the pawn shop and they say, ooh, okay, I'll give you this much. But melt that thing down. Let the fire refine it, turn it into a little something, and make it smooth.
Yes.
And take it to them and watch what they say now. Oh, now that's worth something. Oh, now I can do something with that. Oh, now that got a little change on it. Okay, well that's a little shiny. Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yes. Yes.
My G.
Thank you, Lord.
You have to go through
You
the
have to.
fire
You have to.
in order to live. You have to go through
Everybody
the
gonna
fire
go. Everybody gonna
in
go.
order to see your worth. In order to really see, this is what I'm made of.
Yes.
That's what the fire is for, to show you what you're made of.
My God.
I can't see what you're made of just in your natural form. But when you come to God and when you walk through that fire, know that that fire is what's going to make you. I had to go through the fire in order to live. And so when you give your testimony, when somebody asks you, what have you been through? I've been through the fire.
I've been.
I've been through the fire. That's a true statement. But yet, I am refined. I will come forth as pure gold. Job said he knows the way that I take. God already knew all of these things that you were going to deal with. He already knew all of these paths that you were going to walk down. And Job said he knows the way that I take. And when I have been refined, I will come forth as pure gold. Pure gold. Bless God. Come on, bless God. Come on, bless God. God, we thank you for the fire. We thank you for taking us through, oh God. We thank you that even in the times it looked like we were about to go down, during the times that it looked like we were destroyed, oh God, we were not destroyed. Yet, oh God, you were melting us down and purifying us, oh God. And you were stripping away all of the things that would cause us to be unworthy, and all of the things that would cause us to be worthless, and all of the things that wouldn't show our true value. Oh God, we thank you. Thank you for the fire, oh God. Thank you for the fire, oh God. Thank you for taking us through the fire. And even though we may be a little burned, and even though we may have a little showing of what we went through, oh God, I thank you that we came out as pure gold. And God, for those of us that have gone through the fire and don't look like anything that we've been through, God, I thank you that our clothes aren't even singed. There is no smell of smoke on us. And I thank you for that, God. Thank you for proving yourself time and time again, proving that you really can be God, proving that we really can trust you, proving that we can stand in the fire 7 times hotter than it normally is, and we can still fire in order to live, that we might save somebody else. Oh God, I thank you. Thank you for the fire, Jesus. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. When we learn how to praise God and do what the Bible says, that in all things give thanks, when we learn to do what the Bible says, when it says to praise God in every situation, when it says let everything that hath breath praise ye the Lord, when it says to worship him in the beauty of holiness, when it says to worship him in spirit and in truth, when it says praise the Lord for his mercy endureth forever, walking through the fire you walk through mercy and grace, and his mercy is still enduring. So when we learn to do what the Bible says and praise God, then you will see God is walking me through this fire. God is getting me through this situation. God, even though I don't like the way it looks right now, even though it's hot and I'm sweating right now, oh God, I know that once I come out of this, that I'll be refined as pure gold. So God, I thank you while I'm walking through the fire, while I'm getting a little hot, while I'm getting a little broken, while I'm getting a little bruised. I thank you, oh God, because once I step out, I know that I'm going to step out on solid ground and I'll be put back together again. And so God, I thank you. Thank you for the fire, oh God. Thank you for the fire, oh God. Thank you for the fire, oh God. Thank you that I'm not just the sacrifice. Because once a sacrifice has been sacrificed, then you don't need it anymore. You can't even eat it. They would sacrifice the animals, the lamb, and the oxen. You can't eat it after the sacrifice. So you're not just a sacrifice. Yes, you make your life a living sacrifice. But you're not just a sacrifice. Because after you sacrifice yourself, there's nothing left. You are gold. You are gold.
Legs down. Leg down.
You're burned. You're taken down to liquid form in the fire. But only to pull out your pure worth and your value. Not simply to burn you. Come on and stand to your feet. God, we thank you. Thank you for the fire. Thank you, Jesus, for being as merciful as you have been to us, oh God. God, there are some of us that have gone through the fire. There are some of us that are still going through the fire, oh God. There are some of us that will go through fire, oh God. But I thank you that your word says that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And so no matter what we have been through, are going through, or will soon go through, God, you will always be the same. You will always step in the fire with us. So that when someone sees us, they will say, surely there was only one.